Welcome back, everybody, to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Summer Marathon. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef. I'll be your host for this part of the day. As a reminder, all of your donations today are helping out the Liam Foundation. Originally founded back in 2015, their mission is to encourage, assist, heal, and empower our LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. Currently, they've opened up a new meeting space where they're holding name change clinics, adult peer support groups, and more. All your donations today go straight to the charity. We appreciate any assistance you can have to help us support their mission. Currently, we're going to throw over to LV Creed, who is going to be introducing us to Mega Man 7. Take it away, LV Creed.
Thank you, Fizzlebees. Welcome, everyone. This is your boy LV Creed here, bringing you a little bit of an interesting Mega Man randomizer. Of course, you probably have seen maybe a couple of Mega Man randomizers here, especially particularly from the Mega Man 2 randomizer community. This community and the Mega Man 2 community has shared some tidings over the past, but now I'm going to bring you something a little different. So we're going to do something for Mega Man 7, and I'm going to try to be a little brief before we get started. So what does this randomize? It's mostly randomized enemies, it randomized weaknesses for enemies, of course it randomized bosses and weaknesses. It's usually that general spiel, but what I'm about to show you is what this special randomizer has this interesting little mode called Adventure Mode, where not only are the weapons and the dot keys, and I explain what dot keys are when we get going, they are going to be shuffled in places where special weapons and hidden spots would normally be in Mega Man 7, which makes for a very more interesting experience, and you'll see as I go along, and I will continue to explain as we get running. But now I think it's about time for us to get going. So with the timer, I'll go on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. First thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go to the shop. Ooh, that's nice. I'm actually going to go ahead and give me some stuff to stock up on, because you actually start off with a random amount of bolts and you get some random amount of items in the shop. So I'm going to start with Burstman here. The way I route Mega Man's this particular randomizer, there are actually so-called checks in this stage, where there are checks in every stage, but some checks are more accessible than others. And for this one, this stage has 3 checks, and all checks are actually easily accessible compared to most other stages, where some of them are usually locked by, oh boy, these enemies are kind of rough, where they're locked by either a weapon or a rush search. So one of the main things I would really like to see as soon as possible is said rush search, so I can search as many checks as possible. Of course, the level design hasn't changed all that much as I take care of this crab mini boss.
We got time for a quick donation?
Actually, yes. Go on ahead.
So we got $10 from Karan saying, "Hello again, all. Here's my hat down for the day. Thanks again for a great marathon. Please put this towards making the levers go gonzo in Hollow Knight."
Very nice donation. Always like to see donations read for a very, very worthy cause. But yeah, as you saw me destroy that crab mini boss, each boss, each enemy actually has a particular attribute that can be randomly assigned to them that can make them a little easier or harder than their vanilla counterparts. And I'll explain by the time we get to the end of the game, because the end of the game actually is very, very detailed. And as you can see, that's beat up there. Normally that would be a rush plate letter. That is one of the main things that are randomized among this randomizer. But since I'm playing in adventure mode, it now adds weapons. Oh, that's unfortunate. Gonna have to wait a little bit. But yeah, the Robot Master weapons that I would normally receive from beating bosses, and the dot keys, which allows me access to the final stages. Are you hit hard? Good, you don't hit hard. Also forgot to mention that damage is randomized as well. So I have no idea what kind of damage I'm going to be dealt from any kind of attack, be it contact or weapon. And we got a vanilla burst man. Unfortunately, the spikes up at the top, especially since this is the vanilla fight, they're not as dangerous, but I still gotta avoid them. They still deal amount of damage. That is one of the many accessibility options that are available in this randomizer. Spikes don't instant kill, but they do damage instead. Also, if you fall into pits, you don't die immediately. You actually get a bird. If I didn't have beat just I got right now, you have at least one grace period for a pitfall, but it will be at the cost of a lot of health, probably about 2/3 of your health. Meanwhile, since I don't have any weapons, I'm just plugging away at Burstman with my normal shots, in case each shot does its own little thing of damage. And that is insanely good. Rush Search very early. For those that aren't familiar with what Rush Search does, Rush Search is a rush utility that makes rush dig in specific spots, hoping for items, or in some cases just some random junk item that winds up being useless. Get this E-Tank here. E-Tanks are going to be very, very important for this game. I'll explain as the run progresses, obviously. But yeah. Actually, let's pop it in right now. So E-Tanks, as a part of the accessibility qualities of life that's in this randomizer, is actually very, very good. First and foremost, you're able to get about 8 or 9 tanks compared to the original 4 that you get in Mega Man 7. Take care of this real quick. Nice. And okay, so what I'm doing with Rush Search, there are 36 special areas where you can get specialized items. I found there are 2 that you just seen here in Spring. I'm about to get another check here where normally there'd be a special little bolt that you give to make items in item shop. Add 3 more items and make items cheaper. But instead I get Thunderbolt, which is the weapon that I normally get from Cloudman. So right now we're just pretty much going our merry little way. You also notice that you're probably seeing some shots, especially with the freeze cracker that I have, that dealt 99 damage. That is critical damage. There are some weapons when it hits a certain boss, it deals an immense amount of damage one-shotting them, and that does include mid-bosses as well. Oh, come on, Rando. Be a little bit more various. We got a Vanilla Spring in the spot. Unfortunately, it looks like Freeze Cracker is not a weakness, so it's just probably gonna have to stick with the Buster for this. Springman? He's not too bad. Just gotta avoid the spring-loaded punches. He's gonna use his wild coil. Kind of make the area a little tight, but not too tight as to be avoiding hits and so forth. And of course, do not get close to Springman. If you get close, he will actually grapple you and try to ram your dome on top of the ceiling in here for potentially immense damage. But of course, since damage is randomized, it could be very, very high damage to very weak damage. Just got a few more hits to go. Look like the wild coil is not doing too much damage to me. Shaq kill me 2 hits. And done. Got a vanilla wild coil for our trouble and a Rustler to play. Also, I'm pretty sure for those that are familiar with Vanilla Mega Man 7, you notice that I actually have all the Robot Masters available at the start. This is one of those games where normally in Vanilla you had to go through 2 sets of stages with 4 Robot Masters each. This randomizer allows you to take care of all of your, have access to all your Robot Masters from the start, no unlocking or anything like that. You can just go through all the Robot Masters as you so please. But of course you got to be careful with everything being randomized, and things could be potentially dangerous. That always got to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. All right, let's take care of our pumpkin mid-boss, Von Pumpkin. Oh, this could be a bit of a lengthy affair. Depending on how much health our pumpkin guy has, this could be a very short fight or a very lengthy one. And since oh, that's right, I do have Thunderbolt. I could at least check that. There we go. Much better. Of course, notice that I'm shooting the pumpkin at the core here. I'm actually going to the core so I can take this particular route. Okay, you are selling on. That's fine. But we're here to actually fight Proto Man. Normally in vanilla Mega Man 7, you had to go through 2 stages. Oh, this is gonna be a quick one. Oh, we found a weakness. For special bosses like Proto Man, Buster can be a potential weakness. And since my Charge Buster is doing 7 damage, I am very, very confident that this is the weakness for Proto. But as I was saying, in vanilla Mega Man 7, you will normally go to a couple of stages where Proto Man is hidden, when you actually find both Proto Man, you will get this fight. But in this randomizer, once you get to this point, you will have it right from the get-go. Also, you can exit out of stages whenever you like, and the game will remember checkpoints. Not only you remember checkpoints, you can actually choose and where to go within that checkpoint as long as you access that somewhere during the stage, and you can just go straight there at any given time. So this has a lot of extra features, extra quality of life that would, for those that are probably uncomfortable with Mega Man 7 normally, this would be a good little way to try to get a little bit more comfortable to it without having some of the usual difficulties that a lot of people will normally have with Mega Man games. Okay, but then there are situations like this. The creator of this randomizer, Parasabe, for those that are familiar with the name, probably are familiar with a little ROM hack called Mega Man 4 Minus Infinity. Same ROM hacker. There we go. Come on. There we go. Oh, come on. I can survive. I can survive. There we go. Fortunately, for every checkpoint, you will get full heals on your health and your weapons. There we go. Now we got some variants. Not you. You're workable. Let's see what Walker does. Nope, we're gonna stick with a Thunderbolt. Also, take notice that for those that are familiar with Mega Man 7, I'm actually using Junkman's vanilla weakness weapon on him. He's not doing any weakness animations. The weakness animations and all the interactions with specific weapons, they are also randomized amongst the weapons and robot masters as well. Docking Slash Claw. We'll go ahead and go to Turbo. Turbo, easy access to all the items. There are 4 items total here, 2 of which are found by Rush Search, so very fortunate that I have them already. There we go. So Turbo Man, under normal circumstances, would be an extremely dangerous stage, and technically it still is. But once again, thanks to the quality of life of spikes not being instant kill, this one's a little bit more tolerable, as you can see right there. But once again, it's still kind of dangerous because you still got to deal with those tires that are up above. There we go. Alright, I need to get to that area right there. Oh boy. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Oh, nah, I still don't think that will work. Gotta be a little careful about my health. That should do it. There we go. Check here. Got danger app. Nice. The more weapons I have, the better. So I have to worry about. Don't have to worry about. Wait, where am I? Weakness weapons. Oh, simmer down, game. Energy balancer. Nice. Do a little bit of extra strat here and get my invincibility. Don't have to use the E-Tank because once again I get full refills upon every checkpoint. So I use that time to just actually use a weapon tank if I use any weapons, so I can try to get by that. Oh wow, nah, that's something else. Let's see. Nope. Let's see. However, Snatch Claw. Nope. Let's just stick with you. Once again, not bad, not bad. Thunderbolt being the good weakness here. There are some weapons that can literally instant kill mini bosses. Hopefully get to see that somewhere along the line. Well, we did have a... Oh, that is a good weakness one right here. There we go. Just keep it safe here. There, Turbo. Ugh, Proto Shield. I do not need Proto Shield. Let's see, where do I want to go? Actually, yeah, we can go here. I have everything I need to full clear the area. This will be one of those stages I would like to have weapons and rush items for. This is why this stage is kind of held off until later on. Because this stage, for all the checks that are available, are locked behind the Thunderbolt that I have right now, the freeze cracker that I got, and rush search for me to find every weapon, to find every check available. And this is one that you would definitely like to have. This is the stage that has the most amount of checks out of any stage, which is 6. I'll take that. I will always take safeties. Use this to keep my health in check. Exit out of stage and go back to the checkpoint. Once again, just a lot of good balanced things that makes this very, very accessible. Use Thunderbolt to get this machinery interacted. So this would be the area where I would get my rush jet. And now that I have Thunderbolt, that area is open. So the question is, what is in this spot? We're about to find out in a few seconds. Hopefully it's a dock key. Dock keys are the skulls with the numbers. There are 8 in total, and they're normally... Oh, big find. I'll explain what I picked up in a moment, but about the dock keys. I'm actually going to wait a bit. I want to make sure I don't get crushed here. There we go. So, dock keys are my access to the Wily stages. Normally, under normal circumstances, I would need 8 of those dock keys. You know, kind of like telling you gotta beat 8 bosses in order to get through the game. But in adventure mode, I only need 6. So once you get those 6, then I have access. Take it safe. Go here and straight to our whoever's in Junkman's room. It looks like we got Shade Man just hanging around the junk pile that he belongs. Once I'm done with him. Nope, that ain't working. Let's see. Will Rock Coil work? Nope, we're sticking with Burst. Burst, but he might have another weakness, but there might be another particular attribute attached to Shade. But we'll talk about that later as well. But for right now, we're just going through the motions. Come on, you can die now. Ooh, junk shield, nice. So let's see, we get the bolt. Give it to Otto, and now we got more items. Take this, and we'll be on our way. Let's see, where do we go now? I think I'll go to Cloud. Yeah, let's go to Cloud. So yeah, what that special boat does, it gives Otto the remaining items that will be in the shop, and also makes some items much cheaper. As you saw, it also contained one of my dock keys that allowed me to progress to the game. And it gave me the Scorch Wheel, which was that rolling fire wheel icon that you saw in the shop as well. But right now, I think oops, forgot about that interaction. But for right now, I'm actually kind of good with weapons. Right now, I need to find the remaining dock key so I can progress to and get to the Wily stages. I would also really like to have a rush mobility item. If there's a such thing as a logic in this randomizer, the logic would dictate that a rush item has to be accessible somewhere along the line in order for me to not only to progress through the game, especially through the Wily stages, because at least Wily stage 1 requires a rush item in order for me to, oh boy. There we go. There's that. But I could say that this is out of logic because under normal circumstances, I would need a rush mobility item in order to have access to that little area. Like right there. Beautiful. But that is very, very well needed. Like I said, I need a rush mobility item to get by the Wily stages. So finding rush coil where I did was actually pretty good. You know, I'm not dealing with you. So yeah, about tanks. Whenever you pop a tank, it has a little bit of an extra feature in which no matter which tank you use, whichever is an E-tank, a weapon tank, or a special tank, you will get extra invincibility frames for an extended period of time. Okay. That ain't working. There we go. That should do it. Okay, simmer down. Just a few more hits. Dunzo. I need one more dock key. Nope. Gonna go to Freeze Man. This has, oh, never mind. This has the second most amount of checks, but it's also locked by several items as well, specifically rush items. So this stage is usually kind of saved until I at least have, a rush coil active. Now, probably another E-tank so I don't have to worry about the spikes in this area. Actually, I think I got Super Adapter. No, it was bullshit. I misread. But that, of course, the Super Adapter being the... I don't need this. That's the Rocket Punch upgrade for whenever I get the Super Adapter. But I don't go out of my way to get said Super Adapter, so it's pretty much pointless to me. If I can find my final dock key, which is right here, I can exit and we actually have access to the final stages. So if you're wondering where the intro stage and the robot museums are, they're locked behind the final stages. Also, woo! Big ol' raid! Hello everyone from RPG Limit Break. Pretty sure y'all were doing some good old Fight Job Fiesta openings. Welcome to the Mega Man 7 Rando. And we're about to be close to the very end, actually. As I take care of base here. Found his weakness in the Thunderbolt. And now we go to the Robot Museum.
And if I cut in real quick to talk about the charity?
Of course. I was going to take care of this boss and you can just have right at it. Go on.
So, welcome everybody from RPG Limit Break to the Summer Final Fantasy Randomizer Charity Marathon. This summer we are running in support of the Liam Foundation. Since 2015, their mission has been to encourage, assist, heal, and empower our LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. As of June of last year, they opened up a new meeting space, and they've been hosting name change clinics, family meetups, as well as adult peer support groups. All donations go direct to the charity, and anything you'd be willing to spare would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
And a very worthy cause indeed. As we continue to progress, now we're going to the Wily stages proper. And this is where this is what I'm talking about, that we need a rush mobility item in order to progress to the stage, because at least in this stage, there is a point where I need something to progress. You see, it's going to be in a few screens. Right here. This is the area where I need at least a rush mobility item, but fortunately I have Rush Coil, and we get to move on. So at this point, we pretty much is going to be going through our merry little way, going through the area, hopefully not have too many, well, so much of my wish. Up, there we go. Always got to be mindful and be careful. Once again, enemies are randomized, and they can be randomized to some very annoying positions. Fortunately, our Stegosaurus is not dealing too much damage. So we're about to come up against base. In this case, it's base 2. As always, we're going to be trying to find a different weakness, but base has one specific weakness. There may be a secondary. It definitely ain't junk. It's not ice. We found the weakness for Thunderbolt. If this guy can just stay a little still. Nope, not you. Not you. It's Wild Coil? It's Wild Coil. Yeah, that's the thing you gotta kind of keep in mind with randomized weaknesses. You almost can't help but be in a situation where you're trying to dig for weaknesses. It's kind of just the nature of the beast. Regardless, that's base down. Is it a situation where I might... Okay. Thing came out of nowhere. That could have been death. Fortunately, that was not the case. Anyway, Gusman G. For those that are familiar with the Mega Man 7 lore, you know that Dr. Wily went to the Robot Museum and stole a figure of Gutsman. Snap fight? No snap fight. Damage? No, more, but let's see if I can get more damage here. Oh, baby! This is good damage. So the situation here, because you notice I use Wild Coil for base, the fact that I also got weakness damage for Gusman G, it could mean that the weakness for either one of them could be a secondary. So there could be another weakness available somewhere that I just didn't use for either one of those bosses that I just defeated prior. What am I doing? Do things the easy way. Nope. So for this... Okay. I'll just... Yeah, this ain't happening. Just take the E-Take and run. I could always refill later. So now I'm about to go to base 3, which is our super base fight. this base can be extremely troublesome. He's very mobile. Good shot. Unfortunately, no. Just gotta keep my eye on this boy. Nope, not you. You're not Thunderbolt. Just gotta... Nope, you ain't it. You must snap fight! Snap fight! Took a sweet little time. So yeah, Slash Claw is gonna give base just a little slap in the face. One more hit. And we're done. Got a little bit of ways to go. This will be the second area where having a rush mobility item, or at minimum, having a freeze cracker will be available, because you cannot progress through this area, this little flame jet area, without either having a rush item or something to keep these flames in place. Was not you. There we go. That's fine. Because you need something to get by that final piece of area right there. Now we're one screen away from our final boss. Well, before we get to our final boss here, in the Randomizer. Let's see. Can we find the weakness, or do we even have the weakness? I don't have Noise Crush, and I don't have the Rocket Punch. I literally went out of my way not to get the Noise Crush. So that is the vacancy that can be effective. Oh boy, how about not? Nope. No, not you. Of course it wasn't you. So of course, with randomized weaknesses and randomized damage, oh, I need this. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Oh, it blew up. That's unfortunate. I'm trying to do the little known trick where if you get a wrapped bubble for the turtles, it doesn't want to encapsule. Got to get that augmented damage from the balloon, from the Danger Rat bomb. That's all right. You still got the job done. Okay, that's mean. That is incredibly mean. For I do have something to take care of it. Wow, the defense. No, not you. But yeah, for the most part, there is not too much going on here. I will be taking the upper route since it's the fastest route, assuming the enemies are kind. But otherwise, surprisingly, there's not too much to talk about here. Just going through the motions and trying to make our way to our upcoming boss. So if there's any donations or want to continue to talk about the charity, feel free to do so.
Well, I do have something to cut in with. Coming up after this run, we have the Hollow Knight Randomizer, and I want to point out that there are still some unfulfilled incentives at this time. Right now, Randomized Levers is only sitting at 35 of 80, so if we get just $55 more, we can get some amazing Randomized Lever action in the upcoming co-op Blackout Bingo for Hollow Knight Randomizer. So please donate now if you want to see that.
Alright, so now I'm gonna try to get to this top part here. There we go. Since I don't have rush yet available, I do have to take these rockets in order to get to this upper portion here. I think I'm just gonna take the shortcut. I'm not gonna get the items that are on here. Take one more damage. Pop in the special tank. And just slide down because of the extra iframes. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any of the goodies that are up there. But this is still a speedrun after all. Sometimes you gotta make those sacrifices. That's what the shop's for. Nope, not you. I don't think I've... Nope, it's definitely ain't you. Is Scorch Wheel. Scorch Wheel weaknesses are kind of the more annoying weaknesses, personally. It ain't it this time. Coil. It looks like it's not anything I have on hand. So this fight could drag on a little bit. I'm pretty sure I tried everything. To be fair, it could be a protected boss. It's hard to tell with some certain damage values. It's easier to tell if the boss isn't Buster immune. One more shot. There we go. Decent fight. We'll check up on the data on this guy a little later. Anyway, shopping spree.
Mind if I cut in for a donation real quick?
Please do.
We've got $30 from Rax toward Lever Rando. I want to play Lever Rando, and you want to see it, even if you don't know that yet.
Sometimes we never know the things that we actually need until you see it happen in the first place. Continue to try to get those donations in, peoples. Meanwhile, we are going through the obligatory boss rush. Sure, I got something better. Okay. Yeah, we're sticking with what I used, was it Thunderbolt? Yeah, we're sticking with Thunderbolt. I don't have to. I might not have the weapon on hand to kill him quicker. It might be weak to the thunder, not the thunder, the noise crush that I don't have on hand. All right, there's Cloud here. Was susceptible to the freeze cracker last I remembered. So I do gotta be a little bit careful on how I deal with these bosses. I don't know it until I may take damage, but there are some bosses that can deal an immense amount of pain if I take damage or get hit by a specific weapon or such. Of course, we're in the business of not trying to find that out. No, not you. Not you. Unfortunately, not you. There we go. I'm pretty sure some people can't tell what the weakness is for this boss. Quick little hint, it did 10 damage. Anyway, Slash Man. Of course, naturally, one of the banes of many games. Freeze Cracker is doing some damage here. It could be a secondary, it could be a primary. It's hard to tell. Usually when you see about 6 damage, it's usually around, ooh, that is pain. There could be a special attribute attached to Slash. I'm gonna take note of that as once the seed ends. I'm gonna dig for another weapon. There could be another weapon that's equally as effective. Well, it ain't you. Also, as I mentioned before, interactions with weapons are also randomized as well. Nope, not you. But yeah, because of Slash Man and how he fights, this is one of those fights that can easily drag on. Okay, so this could have been a slap fight. I think Slash Claw probably been the main weakness. That's 4, but that's not what we're looking for. Especially since... There we go! Jump Shield is a fantastic weakness for bosses. because you're able to get multiple hits from one weapon usage. Of course, with the actual ammo being randomized in and of itself. There we go. You got to be mindful about ammo consumption due to the ammo randomization. Few more Robot Masters left. That wasn't the one I wanted, but you know what? Whatever. Self, get your head in the game. You. This coward. Is he gonna dive at me one more time? Nope. There we go. Don't tell my menu it could be left to be desired, but it is what it is. Hit that because just save a little bit of time. Let's see, what weakness have I not used yet? Was Thunderbolt? Oh no, Thunderbolt was a... It wasn't Slash. There we go. So all we gotta do is just take care of our freeze battle, and then we move on to our final bosses. Of course, if you're in a situation where you need to go back to get tanks, weapons, need a weapon to continue on, once again, you can actually continue on from this point. It has an autosave feature. It remembers the point where you are in the game. You can get out of this fight, go get some items, find a weapon, and come back to this exact point. You do not have to do the entirety of the stage again. A very, very welcome quality of life.
Got time for a real quick donation?
Yes, I do.
We got $15 from Brookhorse saying, randomize those levers. Hello, D.
It's looking like Scorchfield is our weakness of choice here.
And also, that does fulfill the $80 for randomized levers. Thank you, everybody.
Nice. Always good to see his incentives met. Leave no incentive behind. Meanwhile, we're just going through the motions, trying to get through this fight as quickly as possible. Go ahead and just slide through here. Probably got a few more hits to go. Okay, should be down to one more. Alright. Wally Castle fight, last boss. Naturally, time will stop on the final hit. And let's hope that the Wally machine is the Wally Castle is kind. This can be a bit of a casino. Of course, I also need to find the weakness as well. And it unfortunately is not Freeze Cracker. That's one of the easier weaknesses out of the way. And he's already starting to be a little bit unkind. Go ahead and just take this extra damage here while I'm able. Best spot. Come on, a little lower. That's not lower. Come on. Welcome to life, everyone. Where it's Wally's world and we're just living in it. This is it. Like I said, this is just it's the nature of the beast, so trying to find weaknesses to make the fights faster. And unfortunately, it's not Stats Claw either. I am not liking my options here. Rock Coil? Oh boy. We're probably going to be in for a long one. Oh yeah, we're in for a long one. It's definitely a weapon I don't have. And I'd rather not be in a position to chase after a weakness right now. Yeah, we're just gonna stick with junk shield and just take it as is. It's a bit of unfortunate, but it looks like this could be either Rocket Punch or what was it, Noise Crush. Unless there's another weapon that I don't have. I'm pretty sure I have every weapon so far. Let me pause to see. Yeah, it's either Rocket Punch or Noise Crush, because I'm pretty sure I tried every weapon. So I'm probably going to be using some weapon tanks thanks to the fact that the junk shield is doing the ammo consumption of the junk shield is a little bit left for desired. So this is going to take a little bit. If you have anything else to say before we end up closing this thing, please do, because I'm going to be here for a bit.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for joining us here at this summer's Final Fantasy Randomizer Marathon. This summer, we are in support of the Liam Foundation. Originally founded in 2015, their mission is to encourage, assist, heal, and empower our LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. Recently, in June of 23, they opened a new and expanded space where they're offering events like open mic night, name change clinics. They even have D&D tables, as well as adult peer support groups. All donations go directly to the charity. If you can, please support. Thank you.
Let's have 2 more hits to go, and time will be on the final hit. That's 1. Time. I thought it was time. It's time now. There we go.
GG.
Very well done. Very well done. I'll say this is pretty much an average time, about 45 minutes. The seeds can run to about under 40 minutes if the seed was really kind, or close to an hour, of course, which is the estimate, if the seed was really, really wacky. So the variance can be extremely, extremely varied. But as you can see, another one of those good things, since I do have a little bit of time to spare, I want to show you, because this is some detailed post-game stuff. Because not only do you see like information about the times, the TIWN, which is pretty much the sound effect of which you die. Fortunately, this was deathless, so I didn't die any time. So you get to see all the stuff that you collected, all the stuff that you missed, and the 34 out of 42. I believe that's all the items, all the checks that you've touched upon. So I touched upon 34 out of 42 checks. But here is where things get nice. The damage table is very extensive. Just take a Freezeman, for example. Not only you get the damage for each and every scope of the weapons according to how you attack it, but also displays the kind of the weapon that shows weakness animation, recovery stuff. Just a lot of Cloudman was strong. And you get stuff like Cloudman. You see that blue little text? Each and everything has a flavor. Well, the game calls it flavors, but it's an attribute that could be given to an enemy, a robot master, or my weapons. In this case, in the case of Cloudman, he was given a strong attribute. For enemies that have strong attributes, they are insanely damaging, more damaging than normal. Every single attack that they do can pretty much take out Mega Man in a few hits, depending on what the randomizer decides to give the C's. But as you can see, it also shows weaknesses. The red ticks show the actual damage. The blue shows secondary damage. The interesting thing about that is sometimes the secondary is better than the primary. So it's kind of, you can take with what you get here. Last man reach to himself. Turbo Man speak to that. And you can see all the weaknesses for the bosses. Permanent Buster, First Base Junk, the Clown mid-boss in the museum, and so on and so forth. Protected Wallet Machine and Protected Capsule. Protected being a state where all your special weapons deal extremely little damage, and only the weaknesses do the amount of damage that sees fit. So yeah, it was definitely a scorch wheel for the Wallet Machine, and yep, I did not have Rocket Punch for the Wallet Capsule. Also, you see where all the items are located according to where they're at. Weapons, you get attributes according to your weapons. Holy crap, that's a lot of Slash Claw. Fairy attributes pretty much gives you a crap ton of energy for your weapons. Noise Crush was waving. We didn't get to see Noise Crush, which is kind of a shame, especially since it's waving. Waving attributes display weapons that can actually pass through enemies that are normally immune or tink off. So think of it like the Wave Beam from Super Metroid. That's kind of like the situation for weapons that have the waving attributes. Otherwise, not too much to describe here. And of course, you got every single enemy has its own damage table. Like Gabriel-likes. Gabriel-likes are enemies that are mostly invincible to many, if not all, your weapons. So you probably have several enemies like those. And for stuff that like tough enemies are enemies that have an immensely larger health pool than they would normally have. This would be insanely crazy if it was for mini bosses, because mini bosses will probably have like over 100 health for a given seed. Just dig through here right quick. Like here, this is a good example right here. The King Gogulus, which is the T-Rex mini boss for a Slashman stage, tough 127 health that you gotta go through if you don't have a weapon. If you don't have a weapon to try to make a shortcut of it. Fortunately, when you see star weapons right here, that means they will be instant killed on the spot, no matter what happens, no matter what kind of health you have. They're dead on the spot. Truck Joe is strong, Sissy Truck, and of course, Babe by Pirasabe. And that's pretty much the randomizer. I hope everyone enjoyed what this Mega Man randomizer has in store. Hopefully next time if I decide to come back here, I'll probably showcase another Mega Man randomizer, because Mega Man randomizers really don't get showcased that much. There's not much word of mouth for Mega Man randomizers at all, maybe except for the Mega Man 2 randomizer. So maybe you get a little extra randomizer in store. Who knows? We'll see. But that's in the future. But until then, once again, continue bringing in donations for the Leon Foundation. Get those incentives met. Get the word out of this randomizer so you can have fun with all the showcasing of the games, your favorite games that can be randomized. And with that, I'll bring it back to you, Lord Fizzleby, to close us out.
All right. Thank you very much for the very entertaining run. Coming up next, we have the Hollow Knight Randomizer Bingo Co-op Showcase. And during this brief setup break, we would also like to showcase the Liam Foundation as we're getting ready for the next run. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Thank you, everyone, for joining us during the summer Final Fantasy Randomizer Marathon benefiting the Liam Foundation. We actually have a representative from the Liam Foundation with us, Kristen, and we'd like to toss it over to her for a moment to talk about this charity that we're supporting. Welcome, Kristen.
Yeah, thanks for having me. If you all don't know about the Liam Foundation already, it's Rockford, Illinois' only LGBTQ plus resource center. And it's actually a really important one in the community because there's not there's not a lot of resources in Rockford, Illinois, and it's one of the areas too where um, essentially there's not any transgender supporting doctors within the area or hospital networks. So what one of our roles is to help trans folks find trans supporting healthcare by driving them to places like Chicago, Illinois, in order to be able to find doctors that affirm them. Recently, if you saw the pictures on the Tiltify page, we also celebrated Rockford's first Pride Parade. And while we weren't necessarily the organizers of the first Pride Parade for our city, we definitely had a huge role in trying to get that organized. Our executive director was actually on the board for the parade, and did a lot of the organizing behind the scenes to get it running and get it running smoothly and make sure everyone had a safe and good time. So that was really, really cool, and just a nice historical moment that celebrated the LGBTQ community in our city in ways that had never happened before, since we are a smaller, mid-sized, maybe I would say, city. So it's rare for those types of events to occur unless a lot of people are behind the scenes volunteering their time to get that rolling. Did you all have any specific questions for me or anything?
No, we just wanted to hear more about the charity from someone kind of working on the ground level. I guess if I had any questions, I think the number one question I would have is what impact do you think that contributions would make in the short term?
Oh, absolutely. So over this summer right now, we've had a large increase in the types of groups and programming that we're running. So we do a lot of support groups for both families and trans gender individuals, both like teen groups and adult groups. And we have a queer elders group as well. And those groups have become more and more popular, especially as we moved to our newer and bigger location this last summer. And one of the things that this organization or this would help us do is be able to continue to support those resources, those support groups. And sometimes it's small things like just being able to host a pizza day where trans teens and non-binary teens can kind of get together and hang out and play games and have a really safe, supportive environment in a world that doesn't always offer that to them. So in some ways, the money can just, be ways to celebrate and have community and have connection. In other ways, the funding, we've certainly had an influx of clients as well who are seeking basic needs such as housing, food, healthcare, and the money would be able to go to that kind of emergency reserve that we have to be able to serve those clients. So we'll do everything from helping pay for people's medical bills, helping pay for counseling. If somebody's trying to find an apartment, like a trans-friendly housing situation, we'll do work behind the scenes to try to locate that for them and even help them make the down payment. Just things like that where it's more of an emergency type of situation. And because our popularity is kind of growing, people are knowing us more. We're just having more people seeking us for help for those types of services. So certainly the money would go toward those kind of more community-friendly events, but also toward the more emergency, like we need to help this person get their feet back on the ground type of care.
I know that this is something that is very near and dear to a lot of members of not just Final Fantasy Randomizer, but sort of the greater randomizer community. I think if you had to give one final kind of donation pitch to get some support, what would that be?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I do really want to emphasize that we are a small and often under-resourced city. I'm sure if you Google Rockford, Illinois, you'll probably get a lot of bad news before you get any of our good news. But there's kind of an underdog vibe to this city where there's so many people in the corners doing these really fantastic community care centered projects and serving our community in these wonderful ways. So we're especially in needs of funding because we're not like a big city. We're not like a wealthy city. We're not like somebody who has a lot of resources out there. And so every bit of support makes such a huge difference. A dollar here can go, and with what we're doing, can go a lot further. Just given the size of our organization and the direct impact we're able to have on the community in ways that I haven't seen. I've worked with other nonprofits before, but I've never seen such like hands-on care work in any of the nonprofit work I've done in the past. I'm not sure if I necessarily conveyed that in a clear way. So my apologies.
I think so. I think you did good.
I feel like I was more articulate yesterday. But yeah, we're really under-resourced. The city is under-resourced. We're growing our grants, but we're in that stage of growth as a nonprofit where every single dollar really makes the difference for the people that we're working with.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us during this short break. Everybody stick around. We're going to get set up for the Hollow Knight combo co-op bingo randomizer. We'll be back in just a few minutes with that. Thank you very much, everyone.